We all have our quirks, but sometimes it's the habits we don't even realize that can leave a lasting impression, sometimes not in the best way. Whether it's how we communicate, the way we treat others, or the little things we do every day, some habits can make us seem less appealing than we think. So, if you're curious about which habits might be quietly sabotaging your attractiveness, you're in the right place. In today's video, we're diving into 10 habits that make you unattractive. Stay tuned, because you might just be surprised by what makes a bigger impact than you ever imagined. Constant negativity is like an invisible weight that drags down not only the person carrying it, but everyone around them. Imagine spending time with someone who always finds the storm cloud in every silver lining, who complains about everything from the weather to their job, to people they've never even met. This behavior, over time, becomes incredibly draining. Negativity creates an environment where joy, inspiration, and motivation struggle to survive, like plants in a garden starved of sunlight. People are naturally drawn to those who uplift and energize them, but someone who constantly focuses on what's wrong, never what's right, acts as an emotional vacuum, sapping energy and enthusiasm from every conversation. Friends, family, and colleagues may initially try to help or sympathize, but if all their support is met with relentless pessimism, it quickly becomes exhausting. It's not that people expect perpetual cheerfulness, but rather that they value balance, the ability to acknowledge life's challenges without being consumed by them. Constant negativity signals an unwillingness to adapt, grow, or hope for better, which can make others feel trapped in its presence. Even worse, it can breed resentment or frustration because it often seems like the person isn't even trying to improve their situation. They're simply committed to pointing out the bad in everything. This mindset doesn't just hurt relationships. It can also influence how people are perceived professionally. A negative person is less likely to be trusted with leadership roles or teamwork because their attitude can dampen morale and productivity. Who wants to work with someone who always finds fault instead of solutions? Moreover, negativity can overshadow someone's best qualities. A person might be intelligent, talented, or kind, but if every interaction is tainted by complaints, criticism, or cynicism, those admirable traits become harder to see. Over time, negativity can become a habit, a default lens through which someone views the world, making it increasingly difficult for them to connect with others on a meaningful level. Positivity fosters connection. Negativity creates distance. It's a wall that pushes people away because humans inherently seek out relationships that make them feel good, valued, and understood. When someone constantly dwells on the worst, it inadvertently tells others that happiness, hope, and change are not welcome here. Instead of inspiring others, negativity repels them. Ultimately, what makes constant negativity so unattractive is its power to limit connection, growth, and possibility. Life is already filled with its share of struggles. People want companions who help carry the load, not add to it. While it's natural to vent or feel down occasionally, the key is learning to process those feelings without being defined by them. Choosing hope, humor, and gratitude doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means refusing to let negativity win. In a world where kindness, optimism, and resilience are deeply needed, constant negativity stands out as a trait that dims the very qualities that make people truly magnetic. Poor hygiene is one of the most universally unattractive habits because it strikes at a fundamental level of human connection, our senses. When someone neglects basic self-care, such as showering, brushing their teeth, or wearing clean clothes, it sends an unspoken message to others that they lack self-respect, discipline, or consideration for those around them. The immediate effect is often physical discomfort for others, as offensive body odor, unkempt hair, bad breath, or dirty nails trigger a natural aversion. Our sense of smell, in particular, is hardwired into our brains as a survival mechanism, and unpleasant odors signal something unhealthy or unsafe. Even beyond biology, hygiene plays a critical role in how we perceive someone's attention to detail, self-esteem, and overall lifestyle. When someone consistently appears unwashed or disheveled, It can lead others to assume that they're careless not just with their body, but with other areas of their life, such as their work ethic, habits, or personal space. This can damage relationships, both personal and professional, as people may shy away from close interactions, avoid working alongside them, or hesitate to introduce them to new opportunities. Poor hygiene also creates a barrier to intimacy. In romantic relationships, attraction is fueled by physical closeness, but bad breath, greasy hair, or unclean clothes act as immediate deterrents, pulling people apart instead of drawing them closer. The lack of hygiene can undermine even the strongest emotional connections because it directly impacts comfort and desire. Beyond romance, friendships and social relationships can also suffer. People are less likely to invite someone to social gatherings or outings if they feel uncomfortable sitting near them or worry about how their appearance might reflect on the group. Hygiene, therefore, isn't just about physical cleanliness. It's about showing others that you value yourself and respect their space, time, and comfort. Professionally, poor hygiene can be equally damaging. In a work environment, how you present yourself is a reflection of your professionalism and attention to detail. Showing up to work with unwashed clothes, uncombed hair, or body odor can overshadow your skills and capabilities, making it harder for colleagues or clients to take you seriously. It sends the subtle yet powerful message that you lack care for yourself and, by extension, for your work. Employers and coworkers are more likely to favor individuals who appear clean, put together, and self-aware because those qualities suggest reliability, discipline, and respect for the shared environment. Ultimately, poor hygiene is so unattractive because it disrupts both physical and emotional connection. It creates discomfort, builds barriers, and suggests a lack of pride or care in one's presentation. Maintaining good hygiene doesn't require wealth or excessive effort. Simple routines like regular bathing, oral care, and wearing clean clothes show that you value yourself and the people around you. Hygiene is about dignity, self-respect, and awareness. By neglecting it, you not only alienate others, but also hold yourself back from opportunities for connection, growth, and success. Interrupting others is one of the most unattractive habits because it fundamentally disrupts the flow of human connection and shows a lack of respect for others. Conversations are the foundation of meaningful relationships, and at their core lies the principle of listening, allowing others to feel heard, valued, and understood. When someone constantly interrupts, it sends an unspoken message that their thoughts, opinions, or stories are more important than anyone else's. This behavior can feel dismissive, condescending, and self-centered, creating frustration and resentment over time. Instead of fostering a sense of equality and mutual exchange, interruptions shift conversations into competitions, as if the interrupter is racing to prove they're smarter, funnier, or more knowledgeable. The result is a breakdown of trust and connection because people begin to feel sidelined, as though their words, and by extension, their presence, do not matter. Interrupting is also an indicator of poor listening skills, which makes it unattractive on a deeper level. A good listener is someone who demonstrates empathy, patience, and curiosity, all qualities that draw people in and make them feel valued. In contrast, a chronic interrupter doesn't allow space for others to fully express themselves, leaving conversations feeling incomplete or unsatisfying. Whether in friendships, romantic relationships, or professional settings, people naturally gravitate toward those who make them feel seen and heard. Interruptions, however, create a sense of disconnection and frustration. They tell others, "I'm not really interested in what you're saying," or worse, "What I have to say is more important than your thoughts." Over time, this behavior can cause others to withdraw, choosing to avoid conversations altogether rather than compete for space to speak. Interrupting others also damages one's image. In professional settings, it can make a person seem impulsive, overbearing, or inconsiderate. Colleagues and leaders respect those who give others a voice and listen carefully before responding. It shows maturity, thoughtfulness, and strong communication skills. Interrupting during meetings or discussions can make you appear as though you lack self-control or have little regard for the ideas of others, undermining your credibility and ability to collaborate effectively. People want to work with those who foster teamwork and inclusivity, not those who dominate conversations without leaving room for others. Similarly, in social or romantic relationships, interruptions can come across as arrogant or rude, chipping away at the other person's sense of importance and respect. No one wants to feel like their words are being steamrolled, especially when they're sharing something meaningful or personal. Ultimately, interrupting is so unattractive because it diminishes connection. Conversations are about more than words. They're about making others feel respected, heard, and valued. Constant interruptions undermine that purpose and turn exchanges into battles for attention. Being a good conversationalist requires humility and patience, giving others the space to speak and thoughtfully responding when it's your turn. By learning to listen fully and resisting the urge to interrupt, you not only show respect but also strengthen relationships, leaving others feeling appreciated in your presence. True connection comes from listening, not overpowering. Being self-centered is one of the most unattractive traits because it erodes the foundation of meaningful human relationships, mutual care, empathy, and connection. At its core, self-centeredness involves an excessive focus on oneself, one's needs, achievements, problems, or desires, while neglecting to consider or value the perspectives of others. This behavior sends a clear, if unspoken, message: I matter more than you. People naturally crave relationships where they feel seen, heard, and valued. However, when someone is self-centered, conversations, interactions, and even relationships become one-sided. They dominate discussions with stories about themselves, rarely ask questions about others, and fail to show genuine interest in anyone else's life. Over time, this dynamic leaves others feeling unappreciated, overlooked, and emotionally drained because they are reduced to little more than spectators or sounding boards in the relationship. Self-centeredness often creates a barrier to deeper emotional connections. True relationships require give and take, listening, sharing, and supporting one another. A self-centered person, however, often struggles to give. Whether they're constantly talking about their own problems or dismissing others' feelings to bring the focus back to themselves, they create an imbalance that is both frustrating and isolating. In friendships, this behavior can cause resentment to build as people grow tired of always being the ones to listen, support, or accommodate. In romantic relationships, self-centeredness is particularly damaging because intimacy thrives on emotional reciprocity. A partner who constantly demands attention but gives little in return can make the other person feel invisible, undervalued, and unfulfilled. In addition to hindering personal relationships, being self-centered can have professional consequences. People are drawn to team players, those who collaborate, share credit, and support collective success. A self-centered individual, however, often focuses solely on their own achievements or opinions, sidelining others in the process. They may take credit for group efforts, dominate meetings, or dismiss input from their peers. This not only makes them difficult to work with, but also causes others to feel unappreciated or disrespected. Over time, a self-centered approach can harm teamwork, lower morale, and damage the person's reputation as someone who cannot put the needs of the group before their own. What makes self-centeredness so unattractive is the way it makes others feel small. Instead of fostering connection, it creates distance. Instead of building trust, it builds resentment. People want to feel important, understood, and valued in their relationships, whether it's a friendship, romantic partnership, or professional collaboration. When someone consistently places themselves at the center of every interaction, they fail to meet these fundamental needs. Worse yet, self-centered individuals often lack self-awareness, failing to realize how their behavior pushes others away. At its heart, being self-centered is a failure to empathize, a refusal to look beyond oneself to recognize the experiences, thoughts, and feelings of others. The antidote to self-centeredness is simple, yet powerful: practicing genuine interest, empathy, and humility. When people make the effort to listen, share space, and show care for others, they foster deeper connections. In contrast, self-centeredness isolates, repels, and leaves relationships feeling hollow. True attractiveness lies not in drawing attention to yourself, but in making others feel valued in your presence. Gossiping reveals a lack of integrity, trustworthiness, and compassion, qualities that people deeply value in relationships. At its core, gossip involves discussing others' personal lives, mistakes, or misfortunes, often without their knowledge or consent. While it may seem harmless or even entertaining in the moment, gossip creates an atmosphere of distrust and negativity that lingers long after the conversation ends. People who gossip signal to others that they cannot be trusted with sensitive information because if they speak about one person behind their back, what's to stop them from doing the same to someone else? This lack of discretion makes others hesitant to open up or confide in a gossip, knowing that their vulnerabilities could become fodder for someone else's amusement. Trust, once broken, is hard to rebuild, and gossip chips away at it bit by bit, creating a barrier to genuine connection. Gossiping is also unattractive because it thrives on judgment and negativity. Instead of celebrating others' successes, offering support during difficult times, or focusing on self-improvement, gossipers dwell on the flaws, failures, and private matters of others. This creates an unhealthy environment, as conversations shift from meaningful exchanges to petty criticisms or speculation. People who engage in gossip often come across as insecure or envious, as their need to tear others down suggests a lack of fulfillment in their own lives. Others may wonder why someone spends so much time analyzing other people instead of focusing on their own growth, goals, or relationships. Over time, gossip becomes exhausting for those who are forced to listen, as it drains energy, fosters negativity, and poisons the trust needed to form strong, healthy bonds. Furthermore, gossiping often reflects poorly on the gossiper's character. While they may believe they're gaining attention or building alliances by sharing juicy details, the reality is that gossip tends to alienate people. No one wants to be associated with someone who thrives on tearing others down or spreading private information. Gossipers may find themselves isolated as others distance themselves to avoid being dragged into drama or becoming the next target of harmful whispers. This behavior also impacts professional relationships. In workplaces, gossip can ruin team morale, create unnecessary conflict, and make the gossiper appear unprofessional or immature. Leaders, colleagues, and mentors value individuals who uplift others, maintain discretion, and contribute positively to group dynamics, not those who sow seeds of division through idle chatter. What makes gossiping particularly unattractive is its shallowness. It shows a lack of emotional maturity and compassion, as the gossiper prioritizes entertainment or self-validation over kindness and integrity. People are naturally drawn to those who inspire trust, offer encouragement, and make others feel valued. Gossip does the opposite. It diminishes trust, breeds negativity, and leaves relationships feeling hollow. Ultimately, gossiping says more about the person spreading it than the person being talked about. By choosing to focus on positive, meaningful conversations and lifting others up rather than tearing them down, people can cultivate stronger, more authentic connections. True attractiveness comes not from being the loudest voice in the room, but from being someone others can trust, respect, and rely on. A lack of empathy creates emotional distance, damages trust, and makes relationships feel hollow. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, and it is the foundation of meaningful human connection. When someone lacks empathy, they appear cold, uncaring, or dismissive, leaving others feeling unheard, invalidated, and invisible. Imagine confiding in someone about a difficult experience, only for them to shrug it off, change the subject, or respond with indifference. That moment creates a void, as if your feelings don't matter. Over time, this behavior erodes relationships because people want to feel understood, supported, and valued. A person who fails to recognize or care about the emotions of others comes across as selfish or emotionally unavailable, qualities that naturally push others away. Relationships, whether friendships, romantic partnerships, or family bonds, require mutual understanding, and without empathy, they become one-sided, lacking the warmth and trust needed to thrive. In romantic relationships, a lack of empathy is particularly damaging because intimacy depends on emotional connection. A partner who dismisses your feelings or fails to recognize your struggles leaves you feeling alone, even in their presence. Instead of offering comfort or validation, they may criticize, minimize your problems, or make the situation about themselves. This behavior doesn't just create emotional distance. It also breeds resentment and frustration. Over time, the relationship becomes a source of hurt rather than support, as one person feels perpetually unheard or misunderstood. Empathy is what allows couples to navigate challenges together, to share joy and sadness as a team. Without it, misunderstandings grow, conflicts escalate, and the emotional bond weakens, making the relationship feel empty and unsatisfying. A lack of empathy is equally harmful in friendships and social relationships. People naturally gravitate toward those who make them feel seen, heard, and cared for. Friends who show empathy create safe spaces where others feel comfortable sharing their thoughts, dreams, and struggles. On the other hand, someone who lacks empathy may respond to a friend's challenges with indifference, judgment, or impatience. This behavior makes others hesitant to open up, fearing they'll be met with dismissal or harshness instead of understanding. Over time, these friendships lose their depth, reduced to surface-level interactions devoid of trust or vulnerability. People begin to pull away, choosing to invest in relationships that offer compassion and support. In professional settings, a lack of empathy can also be a major drawback. Leaders, co-workers, or colleagues who fail to understand the emotions or challenges of others often create toxic work environments. Empathy fosters teamwork, trust, and collaboration by helping people feel valued and respected. Without it, interactions can feel transactional or dismissive, leading to low morale and strained relationships. Ultimately, a lack of empathy makes people unattractive because it robs relationships of the emotional connection they need to flourish. Empathy is what allows us to step outside of ourselves, to connect with others' experiences, and to offer kindness when it's needed most. Those who fail to show empathy risk pushing others away, leaving behind a trail of broken connections and unfulfilled relationships. True attractiveness lies in the ability to care, understand, and make others feel valued, a gift that empathy alone can provide. Bad manners signal a lack of respect, consideration, and awareness of others, qualities that form the foundation of positive human interactions. Manners are more than just rules. They are a reflection of a person's character, values, and upbringing. Whether it's failing to say please or thank you, talking with a mouthful of food, being rude to service workers, or interrupting someone mid-sentence, bad manners create an impression of selfishness and disregard for others. People naturally want to feel respected and appreciated, but bad manners do the opposite. They make others feel undervalued and uncomfortable. A person with poor manners often appears entitled, thoughtless, or even arrogant, which pushes people away. Small acts of courtesy, such as holding the door open, saying hello with a smile, or acknowledging someone's time, go a long way in building trust and warmth. When these are absent, it creates distance and tension, making it harder to form genuine connections. In social settings, bad manners are particularly damaging because they disrupt harmony and create negative experiences. Imagine attending a dinner where someone chews loudly, speaks over everyone, or refuses to offer even basic politeness. Suddenly, what should have been an enjoyable time becomes stressful and unpleasant. People with bad manners often monopolize conversations, ignore social cues, or behave in ways that make others feel awkward, embarrassed, or invisible. Over time, these behaviors erode friendships and relationships because they communicate a lack of thoughtfulness. Good manners are about recognizing that our actions affect those around us. When someone consistently behaves rudely, it suggests a self-centered mindset, as though they believe their comfort, opinions, or needs are more important than anyone else's. Bad manners are equally off-putting in romantic relationships. While physical attraction or charm might initially capture someone's interest, bad manners can quickly overshadow those qualities. Actions like forgetting to say, "Excuse me," being rude to restaurant staff, or showing a lack of table etiquette can signal deeper issues, such as immaturity or a lack of emotional intelligence. Over time, these behaviors chip away at a partner's respect and admiration. No one wants to feel embarrassed by the behavior of their significant other or worry about how they'll act in public or around loved ones. Good manners demonstrate care, respect, and attention to detail, qualities that build trust and emotional connection. Without them, relationships can feel shallow and unsatisfying. Professionally, bad manners can be equally destructive. In workplaces where collaboration and mutual respect are key, rude behavior, such as interrupting, ignoring colleagues, or showing up late without apology, can damage reputations and hinder career growth. People gravitate toward those who show professionalism and respect, not individuals who create tension or discomfort. Ultimately, bad manners make people unattractive because they erode the very qualities that allow relationships to thrive: respect, kindness, and consideration. Manners may seem small, but they carry enormous weight, acting as unspoken signals of how much we value others. Good manners make people feel seen, appreciated, and respected, while bad manners create walls of discomfort and disconnection. True attractiveness lies in how you treat others, and nothing is more appealing than someone who makes everyone around them feel valued. Being dishonest shatters the foundation of trust, which is essential for any meaningful relationship. Trust is what allows people to feel safe, understood, and valued. And when dishonesty enters the picture, it undermines that security. Whether it's telling lies, exaggerating truths, or hiding important details, dishonesty creates doubt and unease, leaving others to question what is real and what isn't. It's not just about the lies themselves, but about what they represent: a lack of integrity, respect, and emotional maturity. People naturally gravitate toward those they can rely on, individuals who mean what they say and stand by their word. When someone is dishonest, they appear manipulative, unreliable, and self-serving, prioritizing their own interests over the well-being of others. This behavior makes it nearly impossible to form genuine connections because relationships thrive on transparency, vulnerability, and mutual understanding, none of which are possible when dishonesty is present. In friendships, dishonesty is especially damaging because it erodes the bond of trust that friendships are built upon. Friends rely on each other for advice, support, and companionship. But when one friend is caught lying or withholding the truth, it calls the entire relationship into question. Suddenly, every word or action becomes suspect, and the easy comfort of trust is replaced by uncertainty. People may begin to pull away, fearing that they're being used or deceived, because no one wants to invest in a relationship where they feel they are being misled. Even seemingly small lies can snowball into larger issues, as dishonesty often requires more lies to cover up the original one. Over time, this creates a toxic cycle that destroys relationships from within. In romantic relationships, dishonesty is even more harmful. Intimacy and love are built on open communication, vulnerability, and trust. When one partner is dishonest, whether through infidelity, hiding feelings, or avoiding the truth, it creates cracks in the relationship that can grow into insurmountable rifts. A partner who lies or withholds information makes the other feel unimportant, as though they don't deserve honesty or respect. Dishonesty not only hurts feelings, but also fuels insecurity and suspicion. Once trust is broken, it becomes difficult to rebuild, as the betrayed partner is left wondering what else has been hidden or fabricated. Over time, dishonesty erodes love itself, replacing it with resentment, doubt, and emotional distance. Dishonesty is also damaging in professional settings, where credibility and integrity are paramount. Colleagues, employers, and clients want to work with individuals who are honest and dependable. A dishonest person, someone who takes credit for others' work, breaks promises, or manipulates facts, quickly loses the respect of their peers. Their reputation suffers and opportunities dwindle because no one wants to align with someone they can't trust. Ultimately, being dishonest makes people unattractive because it undermines the very essence of connection: trust. People crave authenticity and sincerity, qualities that allow them to open up, share, and build lasting bonds. Dishonesty, on the other hand, pushes others away, leaving relationships hollow and fragile. True attractiveness lies in honesty, in being someone who is reliable, truthful, and courageous enough to own their words and actions. When you are honest, you show respect not only for others but for yourself, and that kind of integrity will always be deeply appealing. Overuse of social media can make people deeply unattractive because it often signals a lack of presence, authenticity, and self-awareness, qualities that are vital for building real, meaningful connections. While social media can be a great tool for communication and sharing, constantly being glued to a screen creates a disconnect from the world around you. Imagine spending time with someone who can't hold a conversation without checking their phone or interrupting a meaningful moment to take the perfect selfie. Instead of being fully present, they are absorbed in curating an online persona or scrolling endlessly, leaving those around them feeling invisible or unimportant. This behavior suggests that virtual validation, likes, comments, and followers, matters more than the real people sitting right in front of them. Over time, this habit can damage relationships, as friends, family, and romantic partners feel undervalued and pushed aside for an online world that offers shallow, fleeting interactions. Excessive social media use also diminishes a person's ability to engage authentically with others. Constantly posting, comparing, or seeking validation can come across as attention-seeking or insecure, making others question whether they are interacting with the real person or just a highlight reel. People are drawn to those who are genuine and confident in themselves, not individuals who rely on filters, captions, and internet applause to feel worthy. Overuse of social media often causes people to prioritize appearances over substance, creating an obsession with how they are perceived rather than who they truly are. This lack of depth can make interactions feel superficial, leaving others craving the kind of emotional honesty and vulnerability that social media cannot provide. Beyond personal relationships, excessive social media usage can give off the impression that someone is distracted, unproductive, or addicted to external validation. Whether at work, on a date, or during a gathering with friends, constantly checking a phone signals disinterest and a lack of respect for the moment. People notice when they're competing with a screen for someone's attention, and it's an instant turn-off. This behavior not only diminishes the quality of interactions, but also reflects poorly on one's priorities. Time spent mindlessly scrolling or obsessively posting could be better used for personal growth, creative pursuits, or deepening connections with others. People are far more drawn to those who live in the moment, have passions and interests beyond their screens, and engage with the world around them in a meaningful way. Furthermore, overuse of social media can make someone appear overly concerned with comparison and validation, which are inherently unattractive traits. When people constantly showcase their lives online, it can come across as boastful or desperate for attention, creating a sense of insecurity or superficiality. True confidence is magnetic, and it comes from living authentically, not from seeking approval through likes and shares. Ultimately, the overuse of social media makes people unattractive because it takes them out of the real world. It strips away presence, authenticity, and emotional depth, qualities that are essential for meaningful relationships. Being attractive isn't about how your life looks online, but about how you make others feel in your presence. The most appealing people are those who put down their phones, engage fully in the moment, and create connections that go far beyond the screen. A lack of ambition signals a lack of drive, passion, and purpose, qualities that are essential for personal growth, success, and meaningful relationships. Ambition is what motivates people to strive for their goals, pursue their dreams, and push through challenges. Without it, life can feel stagnant, unfulfilling, and directionless. When someone lacks ambition, They often appear complacent, as though they are content with mediocrity or simply going through the motions. This lack of drive can create a sense of frustration in others, especially in romantic relationships or friendships, where people naturally seek connection with those who inspire, challenge, and motivate them. Ambition fuels progress, whether it's advancing in a career, achieving personal milestones, or making a positive impact on the world. Without it, a person may seem uninspired or uninterested in growing or improving, which can quickly make them less appealing to others who are motivated and goal-oriented. In romantic relationships, ambition plays a crucial role in creating balance and fostering excitement. A partner who lacks ambition may lack the energy and enthusiasm needed to contribute to the relationship's growth. Relationships thrive on shared goals, dreams, and aspirations, and when one partner is disengaged or lacks the desire to improve, it can create a one-sided dynamic. This often leads to frustration, resentment, and feelings of dissatisfaction. Ambition doesn't necessarily mean chasing fame or fortune. It's about having a sense of purpose and working towards something meaningful. When one person in the relationship isn't pursuing anything beyond their comfort zone, the dynamic can feel stagnant or unfulfilling, leaving the other partner questioning whether they're investing in a future that's as exciting or rewarding. Similarly, in friendships, a lack of ambition can make a person seem disengaged or uninterested in personal growth. Friendships are built on shared experiences and mutual support for one another's dreams and goals. If one person in the friendship isn't striving for anything or lacks the motivation to better themselves, it can create an imbalance. Friends naturally gravitate toward those who encourage them to grow, take risks, and challenge them to be better. When a friend lacks ambition, they may seem uninspiring or even drag others down with their complacency. This can lead to feelings of frustration or disappointment, as people crave relationships with those who motivate them to reach their full potential. In professional settings, a lack of ambition is also a major turnoff. Employers, colleagues, and clients want to work with individuals who are driven, passionate, and proactive. A person who lacks ambition often appears uninterested in taking on new challenges, advancing their career, or contributing to the success of the team. This can make them seem uninspiring and unmotivated, which not only limits career opportunities, but also impacts the overall dynamics of the workplace. Ambitious individuals tend to excel, take initiative, and bring energy and enthusiasm to their endeavors, qualities that make them stand out and attract opportunities. Ultimately, a lack of ambition makes people unattractive because it suggests a lack of passion, purpose, and potential. People are naturally drawn to those who are driven, excited about life, and working towards something meaningful. Ambition doesn't mean being constantly busy or striving for success at all costs. It's about having a clear sense of purpose and the drive to pursue it. When people lack this spark, it can make them seem stagnant, uninspired, and disconnected from the possibilities life has to offer. True attractiveness lies in the ability to dream, grow, and inspire others, making ambition an essential ingredient for both personal fulfillment and the quality of relationships. Breaking free from these habits isn't about perfection. It's about self-awareness and growth. By embracing positive changes, you'll not only enhance your attractiveness, but also build stronger, more meaningful connections. Thanks for watching.